You're very welcome back. Good morning. It is 7:33. Now, the ongoing conflict in the Middle East has already had a knock-on effect here, with fuel and energy prices. They're already soaring.
Political correspondent with the Irish Independent, Cónal Thomas, is here to give us the latest alongside the president of the Irish Road Haulage Association, Ger Hyland. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Cónal, we'll start with you. Why are we seeing price hikes already in our economy?
Well, the disruption to gas and oil supplies anyway leads to a natural inflation. What we've seen, I suppose, the price gouging accusations to one side, right? What we're going to see is an increase if, say, the Strait of Hormuz, right, this key shipping route is blocked. Now, Iran has said they'll, I think, set fire to anyone who goes through that. Donald Trump says they'll bring in the Navy to that. So the oil and gas that was seen was set before the outbreak, right? What we saw in Ukraine in 2022 was the impact after about 3-4 weeks. And this is where things could get very tricky for Irish consumers and questions for the government. The price of oil has already gone up by about 65 to 75 euro a barrel. Now, that's nowhere near the height of the inflationary impact. Ukraine is about 110. Similarly, megawatt for gas has gone up as well. If this continues for 3-4 weeks, the government's going to have very kind of difficult questions on its hands, because while the price gouging and what's happened the last few days, we've seen it's now basically asked the Consumer Protection Watchdog.
Can we talk about that? Because that's obviously getting an awful lot of the headlines. We're meant to have a 90-day supply on this island to get us through. As you've said, prices are set before, so it's here. People have seen, we're getting messages yesterday, and we have seen at the pumps and home heating oil, that has rocketed up in just 2 days. So are they wrong about the price gouging that is happening in this industry?
It's not entirely clear. The fuels industry itself has said that those prices were elevated to stop people rushing because supply is limited, that it comes in on a kind of a day-by-day basis. Now, it doesn't sound particularly convincing. What it'll be interesting to see if now the next few days those prices level off. The longer-term impact of this, though, is yet to be known. I think this is where the question and the debate comes in again around stuff like, say, energy credits. Right? And this is where I think the government could be in for a bit of trouble. Bear in mind as well, Ger might talk a little bit, the carbon tax increase is due to come in on the 1st of May again. And some people have called for that to be stopped, cancelled in the light of the outbreak of the war in the Middle East. The government have emphatically ruled that out. They say it is going ahead.
OK. Ger, we'll bring you in here because you're president of the Irish Road Haulage Association. So are you seeing an impact already?
We're seeing a huge impact from our members. We're getting phone calls into our office where our members are ordering fuel. And there's a 3-4 day wait for fuel deliveries now in a lot of cases. And we won't get a price until the morning of the delivery. So we can't order fuel today at a fixed price and know how much our price is going to be until the morning of the delivery. We've seen in a lot of cases that our fuel has gone up by 20 cents a litre in cases since last Friday. Our association, our members, we cannot stay operating our vehicles at the money that we're being charged for fuel.
Ger, are you annoyed at the oil industry? Like, are you annoyed at this increase right now? We're meant to have fuel. You're meant to have this period of grace. Are you annoyed with them?
Absolutely.
Do you feel there's price gouging going on?
There's no doubt in our mind that there's price gouging going on. We have been calling on the government over the last number of years to investigate the oil industry and the oil supply industry. But again, there has been nothing done. Now we have a crisis and we have a knee-jerk reaction where they're calling for they're calling that they're going to have an inquiry into the fuel industry. But this should have been done long and ever ago.
An awful lot of people are saying that we shouldn't be having, you said, a knee-jerk reaction to the CCPC. A lot of people are saying that we cannot, including economists. Dr. Barbara Rowntree was talking on The Tonight Show last night of going, we should not have a knee-jerk reaction right now in relation to the conflict of getting rid of carbon taxes. We should not be putting in universal credits because that's inflationary, and we saw that it increased inflation in our economy. So they're saying that we shouldn't be easing any credits as to what's going on at the moment as a knee-jerk reaction.
My view on this here is that we're here and now, we're where we are, that the fuel increase is going to have a huge inflationary effect on Ireland, especially in the regions, in the country areas where everybody has to have a car to travel to work. Our members, our transport people are predominantly in rural Ireland. They're working on very small margins. 20 cents a litre of an increase to a transport company is just massive. They're not going to be able to survive this unless they get help from the government. And I'm calling on the government here this morning, on the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach, to suspend the carbon tax until such time as this crisis is over. We're only about one of 3 countries in Europe at the present time charging carbon tax on our fuel. So we're looking for it suspended until this crisis is over. The government need to put on the green jersey here before they jet away.
But the argument, Ger, that the carbon tax, Cónal, is that it is now funding retrofitting all around this country, so as that we are not as dependent on these industries that continually price gouge and, let's be honest, are making huge profits at the minute. That's the argument for the carbon tax. It is the
argument, and but the tricky question for the government is that things like retrofitting being rolled out, and it's only been since really around 2020, remember when the Greens came to government, this really ramped up. Similarly, the government will say investment into the grid and move away from and move towards renewables will over time reduce price, etc. That's a long-term impact, and what Ger's talking about, I suppose, is the short term. I think it's really important to say, though, we're only 6 days into this conflict. Escalate or de-escalate, we don't know. And we could be sitting here in 7 days' time and things may have de-escalated. Now, when you look doubtful, and bear in mind, Donald Trump has said 4 or 5 weeks at least this war is going to go on.
I don't know, God willing.
Well, we're told there's no plan. There's no exit strategy in place.
What I'm going to say here this morning, and I don't want to sound alarmist, but 6 weeks' time, if this conflict is still going on, it's going to be too late for some of our members with the margins that we have at the present time. That 6 weeks' time to get some help from the government is going to be too late. We will have lost some of our transport community within the next 6 weeks. It's that serious for our industry.
Without panicking people, without the haulage company, we don't get food into Ireland and distribute it around Ireland.
I would just say that from the shoes on your feet to the cornflakes on your table and everything in between, we're an island nation. It comes on the back of a truck. It's delivered by us and our members. If we are not there, there will be shortages of supply.
And as the fiscal authority, they have said we have to stop overspending in this country. An awful lot of people I know from your industry are talking about, you know, the taxes from the American companies or whatever, but we're so overly dependent on them. You know, we've overspent by 50% is based on 3 companies in the country. So, like, if the government don't respond in this way, like whether it's a carbon tax or increase, like they're hearing from the economists, please do not decrease that and get rid of the carbon tax.
Yes.
So they're hearing both these things.
Yeah, but I'm not advocating to get rid of the carbon tax here this morning. I'm advocating to suspend it until such time as this conflict, or whatever you want to call it, is over. I would also like to say that as an industry, we've paid over €1 billion in carbon tax with absolutely nothing to show for it. We've got no help from the government to invest in green technology. We've all invested in new vehicles with exhaust systems that's costing us an extra 40,000. Like, in the last 10 years, our vehicles have increased by 40% in costs. We've got no help here from government in any of this. We've paid over €1 billion in carbon taxes, so it is time to give back something to our industry.
0896 111 111. We'd love to hear from you in relation to this as to what's happening, because we've seen it all at the pumps, and everyone seems to be talking about the price gouging that appears to be happening as well. Should the government be helping out the haulage industry?
OK, Ger, Cónal, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks a million for joining us this morning. Back shortly on Ireland Day.